urging him to be a POS.
Well, I mean, let's just be real. Like, I come from a generation where you don't show up to court unless you are dressed.
He's in Summit County.
Dressed to impress the judge, not dressed to.
Summit? I thought he was in Mahoney. No,
Mahoney. I mean, yeah, Akron.
Like you wore not suit and tie, but like business casual.
Yeah. So, Leanne, what happened in the last 2 court dates is that they just continued it. So the first one, it was continued to get the metadata from the phone. The second one, it was continued for them waiting to see if they could like group all of the sentencing into one hearing. My state was not done with everything to do with like investigations with the schools, with my children, with all of that stuff. My state wasn't done with it yet. So they just proceeded with sentencing him for the violation for now. And then he still has stuff coming in from Florida. That didn't go.
It was allegedly it's 18 months just for the violation.
Correct. So that's 18 months on federal. He'll end up with a second violation once the charges from Florida come. He'll end up with another parole violation, and he'll also end up with state charges as well.
They over here talking about, hey, justice for Cody's victim.
So far, man. Josh, it's not done yet, but so far he's got 18 months for the first violation. More to come. Yeah, Fabio.
Yeah, great. Blue girl.
You know what? Let's just go ahead, turn it up. We're just gonna
in the club on a Tuesday, y'all.
Let me go put my pool back in the screen. I'll show you guys blue right now. I'm in bed.
Free the guys, y'all. The real ones, though. It's a lot of good guys coming home this year, and it ain't Tatt2Cody. I got guys that, 06, 05.
It ain't gonna be him.
When the real solid guys was getting locked up, home in the next year or two. Damn, he ain't never snorted the last batch, y'all. He ain't never snorted the last batch. Hey, for everybody that's blaming people like Melissa and all that, guess what? He's not locked up for Melissa's crime. He's locked up on a VV. Nobody put them subs in the system. Nobody put that grass in the system. You know what I mean? Melissa wasn't the one that didn't open that door to that police, to that probation officer. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So, point the finger at that man. Take accountability. Period. I see Cody right now. 0071368. It hasn't been updated. For sure. I might do a surprise visit. I should do a surprise visit to him. Sit across from the glass like, you know you done fucked up, right? You're like, wow, man, leave me alone, man. Don't put it down on me, man. I'm already traumatized as it is.
All right, no, you got to get out there. No, there's too many people in here.
But yeah, man, I just came on here for a little bit, man. Y'all enjoy y'all day.
Is that what they say?
That water looks real nice.
Yes, it does.
All right, y'all.
All right, Fabio.
Y'all stay blessed.
Have a good day.
Hi, Siobhan.
You too.
Yeah, they usually update everything at once in court notes, so they don't like do it all day long. It's like an end of the day. I keep hearing 2K, 10K. There's all sorts of stories. I just, at this point, anything that is said by them, I don't believe any of it. I don't believe in any total. Like, first of all, how the hell would they keep track of it? Somebody else should have kept track of it. They were only, they, as far as I know, they were together for like a week or something, and then he got arrested. Like, putting all of that on another person, I just can't stand behind that either. Like, I really can't. Who knows how much it really ended up being? Who knows where it went? Like, I don't know. I really don't. So it is what it is. Shit. And I mean, if the robber got robbed, fucking, oh well. They should have just sent the money directly to whoever was going to help him. So. Yeah. The thing with me, Amelia, though, is like, let's say she did have good intentions, right? And again, I don't know the girl, but I don't like the way that she behaved towards me at all. I do not like that she, went straight to being the lead singer of the bully band at all. But if that was me and there's all this stuff going on at once and you got an apartment, you have storage, and you have a new car with a car payment that you constantly lie about, do you have a payment or not? And you've got all of this other stuff going on. And then you also have lawyers and then a different lawyer and all this other, it's like all of a sudden you're responsible for somebody else's entire bullshit. I don't know that I would have all of those receipts either. Or have them separated from my normal finances to be able to show for everything, right? I could provide a breakdown for sure, but I also wouldn't collect money for somebody. For me, if I am in a relationship with somebody who needs to be a dependent, which we're not doing that, but if I was in a relationship with somebody who needed to be dependent on me, I would make sure that I could be the sole provider of whatever financial needs they had. I've been in this situation in the past, never again. I would make sure of that, and I wouldn't be collecting money from outsiders either. So I can't really speak on like what she might have been thinking or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know how like all of that went about, like how she collected money, what she said it was for. Like, I don't know. I wasn't there to see all of that stuff, so I can't really speak on it. And I also feel like a lot of people come in and they're like, well, you said such and such, right? And I've been in this situation.
Wasn't planned growth over grade.
What?
She said thanks for having a discussion panel.
Oh, no.
This wasn't planned.
Tanya, Mitchell had messaged me this morning, and he just says, he's like, hey, did you go to Ohio? I'm like, no, for what? And I didn't even realize what day it was, to be honest. So I didn't even realize what day it was, but they're like, yeah, they're saying that I'm in Ohio, that I went to Ohio for court, which at this point, court was already like in session when he's messaging me, or done, because I'm pretty sure the court was in the AM hours. And then there was that, and it was like all thrown into one sentence. They're saying that you're in Ohio for court and Sarah has a warrant. And I'm like, okay, I don't even give a shit about what Sarah's warrant is or isn't for. Does she or does she not have one? Because number one, I'm not in Ohio. So we started with a lie, and like anything else, I just take it with a grain of salt. Anything coming from the Chainbreakers community, y'all, like if you haven't realized yet, people who are supporting these behaviors are most likely addicts, period. There's no other way to justify the things that he did, the things that he continued to do, to sit there and say, oh, he didn't do anything, and like and bully somebody that he did wrong. Like people don't do that. You can walk away. You can still love the man and turn your back to this situation and leave the other party alone. When you saw how bad they were, like, you don't have to participate in being horrible to them. So anybody who is participating in them, the second that somebody starts coming after me, I'm like, oh, crackhead. That's the only thing that I can think, because I don't see any other excuse for that kind of behavior or false support. It's false. It's all false support. They know what they're doing. They know they're enabling all of this horrible shit. They know what they're doing. And good people don't do that. Good people don't want to see people hurt people.
I don't mean to like toot my own horn, but that's kind of what happened with me. At first, I was putting stuff out about Melissa.
Put it down.
I didn't know who she was.
Put it back.
And then I came and found out who she was. And I'm like, hold up, this is wrong, man. Why are we doing this? But he didn't want to hear that. So here we are.
Yeah. They're saying that he got 18 months for the violation. It's for a violation of federal parole. Y'all need to understand, when you say 18 months for weed, number one, there's nothing saying that it was just weed. There's absolutely zero documentation of that. He has a violation for urinalysis. It does not specify that. It's just like everybody else, where they tell a little truth and then they try to minimize their actions by saying, but it was just weed. That's most likely what's happening there, because me and anybody else who knows Cody, so like anybody who's saying I've known Cody forever, Cody does not like Mary Jane. He doesn't like it. He never liked it. So I don't know why he would do that, but he had taken a deal. He was facing like 100 years or something, and then it was down to like 30, and then he like testified against his co-defendants, and he only ended up doing like a total of like 9 months in prison and then 9 months in a halfway house for this federal stuff, when other people for the same crimes that he participated in actively, those people are in prison for 35 years right now. So when you say only 18 months, when you violated the parole on a deal like that made by the feds for a case that could have been, a lifelong sentence, that's where it's not only 18 months. It's there's a much bigger picture and background to that story. Yeah.
There was also a female involved in that case that lost her kids behind all this, and she got like 30 years. Guys and a female. I mean, it was a whole bad case.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of people that were affected by it. They downplay everything. He has talked about what he did. He's talked about the fact that he was dealing, and then he comes back and he says, "No, they just caught me buying something, and it was over a phone." And they've thought of every excuse in the world to like downplay what he was doing, but I know what he was doing, and that's something that, at the end of the day, I am one of very few people that spend any amount of time with him in person. So other people would say, "Oh, we text or we do this or we do that." Sure, he might message you back and forth, but for the most part, you're just like a side conversation, unless you're right there in his face. And even when you are there in his face, I don't care who you are, all he's doing is live streaming all day, every day. That's all he cared about. So, yeah, that's what I heard. Life by the Sea, they're saying he got 18 months. That's what they say. Yeah, Lori, there's no way it was that. So he said that he used to garden with his mom back in the day when he was a teenager, because like all his friends wanted to do it. And he said he tried it like once or twice after he had gotten out, and he just hated it. He hated how it made him feel. Like it was just pointless. So he's like once and then one more time to make sure he didn't like it. And that was like way before I had ever even met him. So
Why are we muting Mitchell?
I think she's just talking about his background noise.
Oh. I was like, he didn't do nothing.
No, yeah, she just means like the mic.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop down. It takes me a little longer these days to get ready, so I'm gonna hop down and just listen in the chat.
Amelia. All right, well, good luck today. May everything go in your favor.
I'll be in the chat.
All right.
What did I miss, Coral?
Thank you.
Can you believe, like, nobody has seen me or heard from me? Shit, Kim lives next door from me and she hasn't even heard from me. And I just got a message yesterday, the day before, that Corinne's on live talking about me again. And I'm like, this girl keeps saying that I have an issue, but yeah, I do have an issue with somebody who has nothing to do with their day other than talk about me, right? Your only connection to Cody is to talk shit about me. That's it. Why don't you just go talk about whatever greatness Cody is? Go.
Like, even if you come in live, you don't like hang out for like long periods of time. Like, you really haven't even been on here. So
I haven't at all. Yeah, Wendy, that's clear as day. Yeah, and listen, I think a lot of us do, but...
Oh, so she's watching the live, Coral?
Of course she is. If I'm on it, she's watching. She's streaming it. She's talking about it. I watched a replay one time. Somebody had sent me a clip, and this is one of the long ones that I actually sat there and watched, because I'm like, can you believe this? Like, she would say something, and like, she's responding to me as I'm talking in my live. She would interrupt like my live, and she'd be like, that's because you set him up, because she had this theory in her head that she sold to the chat as facts. And she says that I had this whole plan that I was going to get him to Florida to have him arrested in Florida in November. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You just mixed up a violation that they filed in November with a whole different timeline. And why would I need to bring him to Florida to violate? You think I'm going to bring him here and have police at my house? Are you crazy? Who would do that? Like, where that doesn't even make any sense. World's dumbest criminal. Like,
Right.
hello, number one, I'm not stupid. Like, why would I bring him here for that? Literally. I don't understand why.
You wouldn't.
I mean, at all. If I wanted to set him up, let's be real. Let's be so for real. If I wanted to set him up at any point, I could have called the police at the time that he drove me off the road when he fell asleep driving, taking me home from the airport one time, taking me to his place from the airport one time. We're driving back to his house and he fucking fell asleep driving and fucking literally drove off the ramp coming off the highway. Hello, could have called the police right then and there. You're past your curfew and you were clearly under the influence of something. That was clear as day. I could have, that's not even setting you up. That's you putting me in a weird ass situation. But if I wanted to have him arrested,
Okay, bam.
I would have had a perfect opportunity at that point.
You might have got sustained, Marla. Or get filtered out.
So the whole thing is like this whole elaborate, like, yeah, she was this. And then I was scheming with Sarah to do it. And that's the problem, is that she's putting out so many lies and false narratives out there. And her issues become so abundantly clear to me when she attached herself to my brother. Of all the people in the world to attach yourself to when Cody goes to prison, my brother? My brother? Why? Because my brother's out here calling me a baby schmiller? Anything. He's and her whole thing to Brian is like, Brian, people hate you. Excuse me, Trapper. People hate you because you're real, because you tell the truth. Nothing about him is real or truthful. And if she had been someone who was trusted enough to be in the real mod chat, which was just me, Pam, and ADHD, she would have seen an entire conversation about how Cody didn't trust my brother, and neither did I. So she just goes and just puts herself in any little thing. And like, if she would just take a step back and like think with a normal person, then maybe she would leave me the hell alone. Because at this point, all she does is spread more lies about me. And the biggest problem of that, and I've warned her about this a million times, the biggest problem of that is that at some point, I'm going to have to decide whether or not there's a further investigation about where she shared it to, because when he shared that video, he pulled it up from a text message thread that he sent it to Corinne after I shared the screenshot about Corinne. That was his response. Oh my God, look, she raped me. Wait. I just called you out about what you said to Corinne, and you respond by sending her that video? Like, that's your Hail Mary? You say, oh my God, she rugged and raped me, like, to make me into, like, some horrible predator? Like, give me a fucking break. So, and I can picture Corinne over there right now, just after watching the clips from before. I can picture it. Who? I can picture her over there right now interrupting and just saying the fucking most right now. Like, yeah, that's because you did. Like, I had somebody in my chat one day saying, no means no. And I called Corinne out about this shit. And I'm pretty sure it was on the live where I said, you got the whole video. And I know you got the whole video. I know you got at least more than what he kept on repeating. At least the first time that he showed it, when my whole body was exposed. I know you got at least that much where you can see that he's actively, it wasn't just a live, that you only had 1 second to catch it or don't catch it. You were able to see everything and replay it and realize that he was not asleep. He was conscious. He was actively participating in whatever was going on. And you're out here just allowing that and acting like this shit's okay. That's why you're sick. And I would be willing to bet that shit did not stop when it got to her phone. I would bet a whole leg that she sent it out. I would bet both my legs on that. No, they don't believe that. User, they don't believe that at all. They can say they believe that. They could try to sell that to the world. They don't believe that. They hate me because they're probably just fucking losers, to be honest with you. That's probably all it is. That there's something wrong in their life. And yeah, it probably really hurt them to be supportive of Cody when he had a decent person in his life. That probably really sucked for them.
I think they done it out of jealousy because you had him and they didn't. I've been saying that, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I think that them females over there wanted Cody. You had him, and they couldn't get him, and you were in their way.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of people like that. People that are like that are like, you know, if it's just another person similar to them, somebody who lives a similar lifestyle to them, whether that's, you know, just whatever, a lifestyle similar to the one that Cody was living before I took him out of it. Somebody like that, those are the people who would be threatened by me. And a lot of people just become threatened by me just because they know that I've had success in my life. And people do get envious of that, right? Like that's a normal, I think that's a normal thing. How you handle it, that's what's not normal about those people over there. So, Giselle. Yeah, absolutely, Kathy. Like the amount of stuff that was going on and like being said, like one thing about me, everybody will tell you, I come with receipts for everything, including my daughter. Do you think I didn't have an autopsy performed on my daughter? Of course I did. Of course I did. So, I mean, all of this, I mean, him say, oh, you're so real and all this stuff. Did you know Melissa sits at her baby's grave all the time, just sitting at this on top of a grave, just crying at a headstone? My daughter doesn't have a grave site. My daughter's in an urn. So when people say like me and my brother are siblings, you know, off the app, like this is just what happens on TikTok Live. No, we're not. I have had maybe 3 conversations with him in the past since 2020. 3 conversations with him, and twice was when I visited. And when I went up and seen them for Thanksgiving, he was out of there quicker than I even got there. Didn't even see him. So
why is this lady RT over there thinking she's taking up for him? I'm lost here with that.
She's over there doing that because Brian is is unstable enough to become her next little muse in this game of her versus Tara. That's all that is. Like that shit, I can't even. I don't care who you are. That is that's not something that you don't sit there and look crazy eyes about another female 24/7 years and years after y'all's problems, right? Like you don't just pop back up out of the blue and be like, I hate this bitch. Like, come on, like give it a rest. Just leave it alone. You guys didn't get along. You guys had a friend breakup. Go your way. She goes her way. Like you go gossip there. They'll go gossip here. Freaking, you know, leave it alone. It's obsessive and it's disgusting. And I've been on that, the other end. I've been on the receiving side of somebody obsessively streaming me, talking about me, harassing me, making up shit about me. I have been on that receiving side. So I don't know the backstory. What I do know is that, you know, years later, I just feel like it's just overplayed and it's fucking ridiculous. It's bullshit. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with Trapper, but anybody who is just directly just submerging themselves into Trapper and becoming like glued to the hip with him is definitely using him for his toxicity. They're using him because they know how vile and crazy and like the amount of lunacy that comes from him. They see that and they exploit that. You can exploit the hell out of someone who's unhealthy. And that is what Cody did. That's how Cody ended up talking to Trapper. I would love for them to produce some receipts where they had any sort of a relationship, messages that he would respond to, or anything at all between him and Cody that was more than like, hey, do you want to do this battle at 9 p.m.? It wasn't there. Yeah, I can't either. He's been saying stuff like that forever. I have been single. I have been very, very single since Cody. So that is, you know, that's the difference. I 100% have zero interest or desire to be with another person and trust them in my space, mentally or physically. I'm not there. So I am like, I'm legitimately traumatized, like in my own way of like, it's just not fucking worth it to me to ever even have to even consider being in a situation like this ever again. So, you know, and I mean, that speaks for itself as well. Anybody who has a brain, a head at all on their shoulders, even with just 2 marbles in it, anybody with a head on their shoulders can look at that situation and say, okay, so this man is saying, right? So this is like December 28th, where he started playing this and saying that he just found this video in his phone right then, right after I called him out about Corinne, and he needed like a Hail Mary, I'm a victim. I just found this video in my phone of this, all of this stuff saying that I rugged him and raped him, right? That was December 28th. And within like 3 weeks of that, where he's so traumatized because he was, taken on all of this stuff, going on and on about how, he just uses women. He wasn't ready for anything, or all this stuff that he was saying, everything that he was doing and saying, to go from that, to be in your next full-blown relationship and just like in love and all of these things, it doesn't line up with your story, right? Like, I don't doubt that he falls in love with any woman that gives him attention. I believe that. I think that he's been lonely. I think he's been isolated from human interaction, like real, like relationships, for a very long time. So I do believe that he falls in love with literally, I think that he falls in love with every stripper that dances on him, to be honest. But to say that all of these horrible things happen to you, and to be in another relationship so quickly, that in itself should have been their first sign of like, Cody, don't you think maybe you should like take some time and like see a therapist and heal? If she did all these horrible things to you and you were violated, don't you think that you should go ahead and see like if maybe you need a therapist, if you need, some kind of treatment here, anything? That would be my recommendation. If one of my friends told me that they were violated, I would 100% be like, absolutely, I would never be in support of them jumping into any sort of relationship, even if it was just a physical one at that point. Like, hey, you need to recover. If something that horrible happened to you, you have to recover from that. That's fucking traumatizing. That is the most violating, most horrible thing that you can experience if it truly happened to you. So, yeah, it's just nothing that he says adds up. And then, for somebody like Corinne, who I know for a fact that she's seen more than just the brief clips, for somebody like that, I think that she had more of a responsibility to say, you know what, I did see it because everybody saw he pulled up her phone thread. I think that she had a responsibility to say something about that. And instead, she doubled down on his bullshit and continues to double down on his bullshit. So, hi, Queen. Anyway, yeah, definitely, Jessica. First of all, I don't think that anybody coming out of prison is whole, right? Like, that's what they do in prison. They break you. They break down your psyche. You are dehumanized in there, and your growth is stunted. Your emotional and mental growth is completely halted. Not just halted, I think it's reversed. I really feel like people come out of prison and they're like, 7-year-olds that still shit their pants. I'm not even kidding. You need to learn how to live. You don't know how to live. You truly do not know how to live or survive yet. Not only are you dehumanized, but you're served, right? Like, you have meals. They're just given to you. Meals are just given to you. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to, there's so many things that you just don't have to do. If you don't get up for chow, you just don't fucking eat, you don't have a real sense of accountability for your own person, for anything. So yeah, there's definitely like a lot of like reentry help that I think people are lacking. Right. Cabrina, same. I agree. I don't think that what he did was a kindness to anybody who's actually been through that. So, like I said, that's something that people have like serious PTSD and traumas from. And, there's like people who like role play certain things or whatever, to show those on a public platform where someone's not actively seeking it out or wanting to see something like that. And even then, that's not what we were doing. It truly was like me talking about the way that his stomach looked with his tattoos. It looked like he had like he was shredded. And if you ever saw him in real life, I'm telling you, this is a tiny, tiny guy. So, yeah. It's if you would have seen like the very first clip of it, you would have had to like catch it and be able to have it screen recorded to be able to rewatch it to really notice like what is happening, because there's like a moment where you can see him in a mirror and me, and you can see that he's not in any way, shape, or form asleep. So yeah. And if you know Cody and you saw like his little his little things that he does, his little quirks, he does this thing where he kind of like scrunches his nose a little bit and like his eyebrows, and he was doing that. Kidnap. I mean I'm 5'3" and I would not say that he is more than 5. I'm 5'3". I wouldn't say he's any more than 5'5". Candy, I've been in therapy since I've been in intensive therapy since I was 30 years old. So for the past 7 years. So, yep. Well, yeah, 30. About a year after my daughter had passed away. That's when I started like real like seeing a psychologist and like treating myself, like truly treating myself and getting through all of that. So that just triggered like every other trauma in my life. And then you've got a lot of this as well. So yeah. Yep, I sure am. And listen, I have the benefit of being able to, if I want to stay in bed all day while my kids are at school, I can do that. If I'm having a bad day, I know it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but I don't have a lot of like big, time schedules and pressure on me with stuff like that. So that has definitely helped during this process. But yeah, I've had a lot of that. So yep, I sure am. And I'm like a really big advocate for that. So before I was in therapy, I studied psychology. So specifically, I studied like the mental health disorders that my brother carries and the ones that my mom carries. So I wanted to understand all of those things, but I figured I, was treated enough just by informing myself, but I definitely was not. I needed to see somebody. So I had a breaking point, and that happened literally at 30 years old. I'm like, well, made it through 30 years, I guess. And then I broke. I cracked in half, just straight in half. So, but that's it. I don't know what else has been said, but I really was just coming on to clarify that I was, in fact, in Florida. So, and this is why, though, because
just
there are
crazy that
so
they
many
even,
lies that are just so random. It's just like a random ass lie. Like, why would you go and say, like, she's in Ohio, she came to court? Why would you say that? Because now you're saying that you know firsthand what happened there. You saw me there. And I'm literally like, there's no way I got back to my house, and like, my closest airport is an hour from me. I'm still in my pajamas.
Or the fact that you were on the live like while court was happening, so
There's that. Yeah, no. Candy, I wouldn't. For my case, if I have to go to cooperate as a witness in what he did to me, I will go for that. Other than that, unless they are requesting that I'm there, I will not be going for any reason.
Yeah, like we had literally just heard when like Mitchell messaged you, so we were like, and then you come in and I was like, yeah, I just asked the source.
Yeah, I was gonna just like pop on and see what was happening. I'm like, I'm so confused. I came in like at the end of all of that, so like he messaged me, and then it was just I couldn't even tell what we were talking about. So I'm like, let me just show you guys my pool. They don't got pools like that in Akron.
It is a nice pool.
Thank you. But that's all. So I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go finish my episode.
No, he did not. Allegedly, he was sentenced 18 months for the violation.
Just for the violation. Right,
The
Brett?
other stuff is still yet to come.
It's a whole separate case.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. He has not been charged with Melissa's case yet. It's coming.
It's an entirely separate case. And to be honest with you, there was a hot minute where I wasn't cooperating at all. Not that I wasn't cooperating, I just wasn't responding. I was so over it. And he was in jail, and I was like, I just don't have time. I don't want to talk to the police today.
And I don't even think it's going to be I don't even think it's going to be a federal case, is it, Melissa?
No.
It's going to be a state case?
Correct.
Okay, so it's going to be a different time. It ain't going to have nothing to do with him doing his bedtime. He's going to get something on the state side.
Correct. It'll be state land. I asked the same thing.
Yeah, so this is like something completely different.
So that means that he'll finish what he's doing, and then he'll be transferred to a state facility.
Well, and also what that's going to tell me, if he catches new charges in new time, this is what should tell everybody something, that he's probably going to have to do all of his bedtime and then start his state time.
No, Leanne, Florida, this is why it's taking so long, because their laws are different between Florida and Ohio. But Florida is the one who did all of the investigations, all of the detective work, and they're going to be transferring everything over to Niles, Ohio. So Niles, Ohio is where he like actively committed that crime. So they're just sending it over to Niles. Which was a whole nother thing, that when they first started this, they didn't know who was going to have jurisdiction. So, yep. There's a lot involved in it, a lot. So.
Ryder.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna go finish my Grey's Anatomy, and I will. I'm sure I'll be getting a whole bunch of clips of nonsense.
I'm sure.
I ain't sitting nothing.
What's that, Mitchell?
Hey, don't forget to call Carla.
Oh, I texted her, so.
I said, have a good
Did
day.
she hadn't responded yet?
It doesn't. No. Nothing. We'll see.
It's got me worried.
Yeah, I wouldn't repeat that like on the internet though, especially if it was just a random person, not somebody that you know. Just because it's just like.
No, it was somebody I know. That's what makes it weirder. That like knows her too. Like.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, if somebody just drops it and says something like that, I don't want to be responsible for spreading that fire. Like, if somebody came in and like, I haven't been online and they just said that, you know, unless Kim's the one saying it, like literally, unless Kim is the one saying it, it's like, just no, don't listen to shit.
Yeah, but I was like, I had messaged you and you didn't respond. So I was like, shit, let me ask you, have you heard? Like, you know, because I'm kind of worried.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll get it. Stop.
But all right, y'all.
I'm going to do it. Stop it. No, not you.
See you guys later.
Bye, Melissa.
Bye.
I'm telling you now, back up. Watch the numbers drop. They're going to be like, oh, Melissa's gone. They're going to be like, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, allegedly, from what's been said, it's not been confirmed. Allegedly, it's 18 months for the violation only. Yeah. I'm saying allegedly because it hasn't been confirmed that I've seen. It's just been taught. Like, we've heard that's what it is. But how many people, like, how many different people do you think streamed my live because Melissa was talking? Probably a lot, huh?
Oh, a bunch of people. Hell yeah, a bunch of people have been clipping and streaming that, probably. At least streaming it.
Yeah, and then Fabio come in, so that's another one.
Yeah.
None of this is ever planned. It's always like on a whim. Like this shit happens. It just happens. Because we were talking about like different shit this morning. They're never planned. They just happen.
Yeah, it didn't get wild as that one though. I'm glad. I was waiting on it to happen, but especially when we brought Johnny Speedway up here.
Yeah, I was like,
to handle with that one.
Like he wants sympathy for Sarah, but like Melissa didn't get sympathy from Sarah, so like. And he, like, granted, he was talking about, like, Cody's people, but, like, those are the same ones she, like, participated with bashing Melissa. So, like, Melissa said she was good. She didn't need an apology, but I still think old girl needs to apologize for her fucking actions and taking part, because